Welcome to tutorial 2. This tutorial is going to cover variables, a basic overview of variables at least. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes going over every little aspect of it, and I don't know every little aspect of it either. But anyways, for starters, we're going to include the SAMP function. So we want to type hashtag include a_samp. In this file, a_samp dot include or dot inc is located in your SAMP folder, or your SAMP server folder, Pawno includes. So if you would ever download ZCMD or anything like that, you would place that in that folder. And that's basically it for including. I mean, we don't need anything else. Next, we're going to create. This isn't a variable, this is a callback, but we're going to create a callback called onFilterScript initialize. And what that is going to do is whenever the script starts, it's going to run whatever code is within these brackets. And return one, I'm not exactly going to explain it right now, there's really no need, but as well as public. This has to be a public. It cannot be anything else, even though I haven't explained what else there is. But it just is a public. Yep. I'm going to explain that kind of stuff later, so pay no mind. So variables. In Pawn, there really is only one variable type, and it's called a cell. A cell can be a float, a string, an integer, pretty much everything. And honestly, I hate it. But anyway, to create a new variable, we start with new. So we're going to call our first variable var1. And variable 1, var1, or we don't call it, is going to equal 10. Then after I am done doing all that, I have to hit semicolon. You have to have the semicolon at the end of creating a variable, at the end of using a function. You'll basically pick it up seeing where I put them. I mean, I'm not going to say, hey, you got to put one here. I mean, if you follow along, you'll understand, or at least you should. But we're going to create another variable. We're going to call it var2. It's going to equal 5. So these technically, well, these are both integers, even though the variable isn't an integer, it's a cell. But it's equal to 5 and 10. They're integers. Those are integers. And what we can do with that is, well, I'll do an example here. We could type print. Now print means, well, it means print. And what print does is it basically prints the text, or whatever is inside the parentheses here, it prints that into the console. So what we're going to first print is, let's do, we are running our script. And then here, semicolon. Then under that, we're going to type printf, which means print format. And what format does is it allows you to add variable values into the text string. So we're going to type variable 1 equals, and then to put the variable into the string, we have to show it where it's going to be. So you do a %, and then since it's an integer, we do I. You could also do D, which means data. I meaning integer. You could either or, but that's going to represent the first variable that we add after. Anyway, variable 1 equals whatever. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so then you put a quote, and you do comma, and now we want to put the variable here. So we could type var1, and then put the semicolon, save it, compile it. We're going to get the warning that symbol is never used, var2. It's because we're not using this anywhere. If we were to put it here instead, like if we change this to var2, compile it, it'll say var1's not in use. So I mean, that's just what that is. So I'm going to run the server, and we're going to go up and see that it loaded the filter script. We are running our script. Variable 1 equals 10, because we're setting it to 10. So of course that's very basic. Let's add something here. Let's do variable 2 equals, and we do another one. So since there's 2 now, it's basically they're taking order. So this one becomes that one, then we want another one. So we do a comma, we type var2. So now var2 becomes this. So if we save, compile, open the server again, we go up, we now see variable 2 equals 5. Now, since these are integers, we can basically, you can do math. You can do variable 1 times variable 2 equals, I'll just do D, just why not. Then we do var1 times var2. You could also do plus, minus, divide, all that kind of stuff. We're going to save it, compile, run it again. Let's go up, and it should be 50. Yeah, I'm good at math. Variable 1 times variable 2 equals 50. So, those are, it's a little kind of understanding maybe. Anyway, let's create some more variables. We want to create floats. Floats are like 10.5, 1337.1337, just a decimal in it. And you can't just do this. This won't work. That's not correct. You have to use something called a tag. And a tag kind of tells the variable what it is. So we want a float. So we type float colon var3. And we're going to go equals 10.10. Then we're going to do, let's make a boolean. Boolean is a, true false. So we type new bool, or call this var4, and we'll make it equal true. It'll default to 0, more or less false, but we'll make it equal true. So we have our integer, our float, and our bool. Really, all we're missing now is a string. So let's make one. Let's do new var5, and then for a string, you have to make it has to be an array. Okay, I haven't gone over arrays yet, so I mean, it has to be an array. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we're just gonna do two square brackets. Okay, this is gonna be how many letters, the size of your string. So because it's kind of hard to explain it without going over arrays, but we'll get there. So let's say we'll do 10. So 10 letters, then colon. We could do this kind of thing, but that's not the proper way to do it. So okay, we've made those variables. Let's try to print some more. Let's do var3 equals, and then if we want to do a float, we do f for float, obviously. var3. Now if we were to save it, compile, run the server, it'll print. Okay, the reason it printed a bunch of those zeros is, well, I don't know the exact reason, but there's a way you can type something, I can't remember exactly what it is, to make it, cut off those zeros, but really, I don't care. I'm sorry that I didn't research it. Maybe I'll put something in the description if you really care that much, or you could Google it yourself. I mean, you could do that. But let's go on. A string. So obviously this string doesn't actually, it isn't anything. It's blank. But let's just do this. This isn't actually the best way to do this. I don't know why I would, teach you to do it this way. But actually fine. It'll work fine. We're gonna format var5. So format is kind of like printf, but it doesn't print it. It just formats it. It'll put the value, or put the string that we add into this variable. So var5 size of var5, and then, well, this is what would go here. This parameter here could just be 10, I mean, it could be 5. This is the size of the texture formatting. But if we just do size of bar 5, I mean, if we ever changed this, it would be 5 instead of 10. I mean, it's clean. It's nicer, I think, maybe. Anyway, so we're gonna do this being a string. Let's see. It could only be 10 characters. Let's just do string that. Okay. So since it's format, we can obviously put stuff in it. So let's put our var2. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So basically now variable 5 or var5 contains the string and then 10 or 5 string 10. So if we were to do printf and we put in var5 and compile it and do that, it'll now say string 5. So yeah, I don't know if that helps at all, honestly, because straight up I'm not very good at learning from straight up tutorials like this. I like learning from doing. We're gonna eventually get to doing something, but I thought I'd try to do it this way, and I personally think it sucks, but you know, bear with it. I don't know if I really need to do anything else here. I don't think I do. Hopefully, you know, that helps in some way. More videos soon.